Hi, my name is Hollywood. You are tuned in to Area 51. Today, here sitting with me, I've got Mia. And I've got a couple questions. I'm not going to hold ya. My first one is going to be, where are you from and where are you going to? Because I've heard some chitter chatter that you're getting ready to move soon.
Oh, yeah. So my name's Mia. I'm 20. I'm turning 21 here soon. And I actually am from Indianapolis, Indiana, but I moved to Texas 2 years ago. Since then, I have been living like 3 month spurts in different places. So I lived in Brazil for a bit. I lived in Hawaii for 3 months. I lived in England for three
Wow.
months. And I was in the Philippines for 2 weeks. I had to come home because a spider bit me.
And now that you say that, I have a question about that. What type of spider was it and what ended up happening? Did you go to the ER or?
Yeah, so I was actually doing day one of ministry in an isolated village in one of the islands in the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
And so I set my hand down on a table because I was really hot and dizzy. And I felt something bite me right here, like where my hand is at, like where it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of red in the corner there. Yeah.
I went
And
right to
oh, yeah,
it.
my entire arm started to swell. My hands started to swell. I was like really itchy. I didn't notice it at first. I walked over to my friend and I was like, why is my arm and my hand so swollen?
Wow.
I think something bit me. And also, the table was like covered in like ants and bugs and stuff. And I didn't like, I was too tired to care. And so I like sat down and then I wasn't able to breathe. Like it
Mm-hmm.
swelled my neck up and I stopped like breathing. So
Mia.
I got rushed to the ER and was immediately put on like IVs and like drugs, and all the swelling went down. But I dealt with a lot of like hallucination and like stuff like that afterwards. But I'm okay now. I flew back to the States and recovered. So yeah.
She's here with us now. I have a question about Brazil. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, it's my favorite place in the world. Living in Brazil was the best 3 months of my life. I did a lot of refugee work, so teaching English to refugees, a lot of children's work. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm a dancer. I love to dance, especially
Love it.
country dancing, line dancing, swing dancing, salsa, bachata, samba. You know, I can do it all. So I danced a lot while I was there. I
Hmm.
traveled a lot. It's really pretty. Spent a lot of time in a beach town, made a lot of friends. And I speak a little bit of Portuguese now. So yeah.
Well. And then you threw in Hawaii too.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Oh, it's
What's
amazing.
that experience like?
Well, I lived in Kailua, Kona, which is the big island, and I loved it. It's like a tourist attraction. I lived literally like a few feet across the road from a bay. And so I did a lot of like my missionary training there,
Hmm.
but it was amazing. On the weekends when I wasn't in class, we would like tour the island and we would get to go hiking and swimming and snorkeling. I'm terrible at surfing, but it was so much fun and I loved it.
And that's wild. One of my questions that before I even set eyes on you, was was about you. I didn't even know. I didn't even know you've been to all these different places. But I wanted to know: are you an outside girl? Are you an inside girl? You like to be
Oh.
outside?
I mean, I used to not be. I'm very girly. I'm very like I like my things. But so I used to not be an outside girl, but when I moved to Hawaii and I did a lot of camping there, like I could say I'm an outside girl
You're an
now.
outside girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being outdoors only when there's no bugs and when the weather's great. When did you first even pick up a mic?
As soon as I could talk. I've been singing since I could talk. I started writing music when I was year 7, like
Wow.
7th grade. I was pursuing a full time country music career. I was going to move to Nashville, sign with a record label. Like, that was my goal.
Hmm.
But then I ended up moving here, and the trajectory of my life changed, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. And I heard you singing early. You guys stay tuned. This woman is so soulful. Okay, enough. We don't want to give too much away. But where do you get that from?
Well, my great grandma was a singer. My grandma was a singer. My dad sings a little bit, and I
Hmm.
inherited a lot of it. So country never ran like in my family. I just always had like a natural twang. And I started training when I was 8 classically. So my vocal coach taught me how to take that in and out of my voice from a young age. So I dove more into musical theater, like classical pieces. I sang a lot of Italian pieces and such. And then I was able, as I got older, to put that twang back into my voice and write country music and stuff. So yeah.
Yes, love it. Do you have any like country artists that influence you?
Oh, yeah. Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton,
Dolly.
Shania Twain, Trisha Yearwood. I'm definitely more of the 90s. That was the direction that I wanted my album to go. I cut my first album when I was 18 and released my first single with a producer in Nashville when I was 19. And so I have some music I'm wanting to release here soon. Just not sure when with me moving to London. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all heard that. She's moving to London. Um, Within the music like industry, what is the craziest experience you've had so far?
Oh, oh, wow.
Good or bad?
I had a pretty bad experience with a producer that I was working with in Nashville. Just like charged my family a lot of money for us to do this single with him, and I didn't sign any paperwork, but like I was kind of under management with them. And I found out that like I got to Nashville to record the single. The producer was great. He didn't have anything to do with it, but the management was just a whole mess, and they didn't communicate with us like where we were supposed to go. I was told that I was supposed to have a photo shoot. I had like all this stuff together, and it just like none of it happened. And it was just, I really had to learn at a young age that you have to be really careful who you trust in the industry, and that you really just have to fight for yourself.
Yeah. With that, how do you, now that you're older, how do you handle like negative people or people like that that are kind of shady?
Well, ultimately, now that I like, since I'm a believer and I'm walking with Jesus, I have the Holy Spirit, so I can sense out like, okay, like are their intentions true? And if they're not, then I still choose to love them how Jesus calls us to love them. Still treat them as good people, as kind and loving people. I'm just careful with where I choose to invest my money and my time.
Y'all heard that. You don't have to do business with them, but you can respect anybody that you come across. And I know you're moving to London, but if you could pick up and move anywhere, is that what you would choose?
No, I'd go to Brazil.
I'd
go back to Brazil.
And then before I let you go, for the people that may just be starting music or have not done it since 18 and may feel a little discouraged, what would you tell the new starting upcoming artist?
Honestly, I would just say consistency is key. Continue to be extroverted, talk with people, meet anybody, talk to anybody. Really just keep writing, keep singing if it's your passion. Like posting on TikTok, like that's really big right now.
Yes.
Like consistently post on TikTok, consistently post on Instagram, and don't care what anybody else thinks, because there's somebody that's going to come along and see your consistency and your hard work, and they're going to want to get into that. And
Yeah.
people in the music industry much rather have somebody who's consistent and hardworking than somebody who's talented and lazy.
Thank you. Thank you. And we talked about pushing pin weeks ago. You cannot be lazy in this industry. If you're lazy now, might as well pick a different career. You have to be dedicated if this is something you want to do. Thank you so much for being with us, Mia.
Thank you for having me.
Check out her stuff. You guys stay tuned for her live singing that she's going to do with a song called Blue.
Yes.
This is Area 51. I'm Hollywood. That's Mia. Peace.
Peace.